Ahmad Rashad.
Hello. I'm Ahmad Rashad, and welcome to Tug of Words, where Peter and Stephen take on Jessica and Mallory in an exciting word to claim the flag and a shot at $10,000.
Oh, wow. What a trailer right there, Ahmad. it ends on 10,000.
Like you was ready for that, Sway.
I wasn't ready. Wait, ladies and gentlemen, hold up, man. This is one of my favorite people of all time, man. Let me do my thing. This is one of my favorite people of all time. At the time he was in the league, I modeled myself after him as a football player. And from the time he was out of the league, I want to say in the early 90s is when you first start doing NBA inside stuff. Am I mistaken?
No, you're correct.
Yep, in the early 90s. And I recall in 1990, at the same time you started there, I started on radio. And I used to like to watch that transition you made from a football player, what people perceive you as a football player. Back then, you know, when you think about what LeBron James and a lot of these guys went through when they say shut up and dribble, you know, and these guys can actually protest that kind of commentary. Back then, they really was like, shut up and dribble. You know what I mean? And you pretty much shut up and dribble for fear of maybe losing the position. But that wasn't you, man. You really showed people there's much more to you than just what's on the field, what also happened off the field. And I took cue from that. I took a lot of cue from that. So over the years, as I've you and had a chance to tell you this and say thank you for that inspiration, man. Now you're doing something I always wanted to do, host a game show. And he's at it again, HB. He's doing what I want to do. Ahmad,
yes.
We got the one and only Ahmad Rashad from Tug of Words here. What up, brother?
Sway, it is always so wonderful to talk to you and to sit back and kick it and realize it. And you always good because I really felt like when I was first going from football to actually into, you know, television, radio, and all those things like that, I felt like it was really on me to sort of try to set an example and to bring people with me. And like, because there was nobody on TV. There wasn't nobody that looked like me. I mean, it might have been Bryant Gumbel might have been the only one. And so Ed Bradley was my mentor. And it just was one of those things where, you know, once you let that crack, and then I was able to say, hey, you know what? A lot of people look like me. You guys, we can all do this. This is something we want to do. And so when you came and it was an inspiration, that just made me feel so good because that's what I was trying to do. And then I'm still trying to do it.
Oh, man, you knocking out the park, man. Let me tell you what it was, too. I grew up in Oakland, you know, and my mother used to say things to me like, well, whenever you curse, it shows a lack of vocabulary. Use your words to express yourself and don't limit yourself by your words. And what you did when you came on TV, you used your words. And when I first came on TV with MTV, the first things I said to them is, you know, a lot of times people don't realize that, you know it now, Ahmad, that, you know, a lot of times what you see people talking about on TV is scripted. So it's running through a teleprompter and some writers from somewhere wrote something for you to say. And when I got to MTV, I remembered how expressive and articulate you were on TV, and you were hip at the same time. You were on the post. You were cool. You had your own style. And so it was important to me that I didn't read a lot of what people wrote. Or if someone, we used to do 20 stories in a day, so, you know, you needed help. But if somebody did write, I went through all of those stories, changed them and made them into my own words. And it was important to me to not be in a box or pigeonholed and show that folks who came from hip-hop culture have extensive thought processes, comprehensive levels, communication skills, all of those things. And, man, you inspired that in me, bro. You really inspired, man. You know, I start introducing myself. I start using my middle name because my middle name is Ahmad, and I start introducing myself as Ahmad after that. Ahmad.
We didn't find that out till today.
Ooh, that's about a stand.
Yeah, man.
I'm honored, Sway. I am really, really honored.
Okay, it's all love, man. But let's talk, man. I watched Tug of Words, and how do you become a game show host? How did that happen?
You know what? I did a game show a long time ago called Caesar's Challenge, 20 years ago. I don't know how long ago I did it, but it was in the middle of me doing a whole bunch of other stuff. You know what I mean? I was doing so many things that, you know, I had another show that was on every single day, and now I'm trying to do this show. So it was in a big group of other things. So now, as life has, you know, sort of lovingly moved forward, and you know, and I have a little time to do certain things, I always wanted to do a game show, but it had to be the right game show. And so they came to me over time, would ask me about a game show. It's like, nah, I don't even understand that game show. And then another one is like, nah, that one's too smart for me. Everybody know I ain't that smart. So, so they finally came for this one, and this one had, man, it would be like, Sway, if I invited you over to the house, you brought some people over, we sat down and we played this game, we would have a blast. I mean, it is so much fun, and and I just enjoyed doing it. Once I got there and realized it was one of those things where it's like if I had all my boys over, you know, they brought the girls over and everything, because you play as a group. There's two people that play on each side, so you play as a team. Man, I had so much fun with these people that I just look forward to it every single day, and I hope everybody else, you know, sees it and has the same amount of fun. And it's one of those games you can play at home as you sit there, and you know it's always easy when you're playing from your own living room because there ain't no camera on you. But if you put a camera on you, them 10 seconds turn into about 3 seconds.
Yeah, man. It looks fun. It don't look that easy. You got to be sharp, though. You got to be sharp. And you can win a lot of money. I watched it, and I actually wanted to play. And I thought maybe Heather or Tracy and me could be guests on the show one time, Ahmad Rashad. I
don't know. So great. I would. You guys might not go back home in the same car.
Might get mad at each other.
Yeah, when you play as a team and the other person don't get the answer, the other one gets a little mad at them. It's like, man, wait a minute, you didn't know that?
Yeah, but they get mad at me every day. I'm not worried about that part. I know go there.
Just come Uber.
Hey, man, we got Ahmad Rashad here, Tug of Words. It's on the Game Show Network. You go to GameShowNetwork.com. HB, you want to holler at my buddy?
I do, Ahmad, Mr. Rashad. Hi, this is Heather. Sway mentioned earlier that I do sports here, and I kind of do it in a fun way, and Sway and I go back and forth because, as he mentioned earlier, he's from Oakland. And I was wondering, just with, like, everything that's going on, just with your football experience first, like with everything that's going on now with the Raiders, if someone asked you to come into the locker room and speak to the team with all the events that took place in the past couple of weeks, what would you say to that group right now?
You know, Heather, life is, it moves on, and it is a learning situation that you sort of, when you go through sort of things like this, you sort of learn, and it's an experience that you take with you forward. That's the only thing you can do, because ain't nobody going to slow down for you. You know, life's still going at the same speed it was going before all that stuff happened. The trick is to try to figure out how to figure out the good or bad or whatever you get out of that, the learning from that experience, and to move on. And I mean immediately move on, because no one's waiting. There's no, you know, whoever you playing this week, they playing you this week. And I think that in life, that's one of those things that you have to deal with. It's a learning situation where whatever it is, take care of it, move forward. And move forward with a stronger mind and a stronger set that you can make it, you know, enhance who you are. Because there's no way to sit around and talk this thing into the ground. You know, we already done talked it out. We know what it is. We see what it is. We figure out what it is, and we move on. And I think that's the trick that's going to try to happen, is to get over it and move forward, because life doesn't wait. You know, if you're going to keep using that excuse, you keep losing games. Well, we did this. Well, nobody don't care about that. You know, at some point, you need to take care of that and move forward.
Wow. Move forward.
Amen.
Like okay.
Amen.
Yeah. Well, move forward in a learning way to what makes you stronger and wiser.
Right, in the learning way. That's the part. Yeah, got you.
Writing that down.
Ahmad, this is Tracy. I'm curious, because now we've had a number of athletes turn news broadcasters, just general broadcasters, actors. Who are some names that have really impressed you with the way that they have transformed their career beyond sports?
Well, like I was saying earlier, the people that I looked up to and that I tried to be like were Ed Bradley, for one, number one guy, and Brian Gumbel was also very prominent during that time. And I think what happens is because of all these and radio shows and all and podcasts and all those things, you have to go into this business with the mindset: are you going there for like a 10 minutes, or are you going there for a career? Which one are you doing? Are you hot at the moment, or are you actually really setting yourself up to look? This is what I want to be. I want to be a journalist. I want to make sure that I'm doing what I did when I started mine. I didn't want to be the guy in that other chair, the last football player, and then he works for 5 years. They get rid of him and they bring another one in. I want to be in the chair that the guy don't move. So I welcome from time to time, rather than them welcome me and telling me goodbye after the next person All-Pro sets in. So it's one of those things where I think you have to realize it's a job, and the best journalist can do anything. It doesn't matter what the subject matter is. It's the same way that you approach it, but you approach football, you approach life, you approach whatever it is. There's a way that you can go forward, and you want to be there for the long run, not for, hey, for 5 years I was pretty good. No, you want to be that. You want to retire from there. You want to be able to do everything. And I always felt like my strong point was I did every sport. I did football, basketball, baseball. I did 4 Olympic games. I did things like that. So I wasn't pigeonholed anywhere. And to sort of explain that is like, yes. So now I'm doing a game show. Whoa! You did all that, and then you're doing this. Yes, and I'm enjoying all of it too. I don't.
Right.
I tried never to look back. It's always today and forward, and I've enjoyed every.
Did he go? Am I?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. I thought you cut out a little bit. That's the way you answer questions and the thought process that you put into it, and your experience is something I really appreciate. And even that response to these questions today. I'm curious too about, since we're talking NFL, Aaron Rodgers. The Aaron Rodgers headlines. He's been in the headlines a lot for not officially being vaccinated, using the word immunization, and thusly misleading a lot of people about his vax status. And in many places, people are trying to cancel him. Some folks say, hey, he shouldn't even be allowed in the league. He should be suspended. What are your thoughts about that?
That is it's such a tough subject because people have their reasons for, either not getting vaccinated or not sort of, or taking it however they want to take it. As far as I'm concerned, I believe everybody should be vaccinated. And I feel like it's not only am I taking care of myself, but I'm caring about you too. So I don't want to give nothing to you either. And so from all the things that I've read, that I feel like it's a relatively safe way of trying to help everybody and keep everybody stay safe. But if you come in and you're not straightforward, I don't know if it's as much his fault as it is the team. Because every place I've ever gone, during this pandemic, and we had to get tested every day, they made sure you got tested every day. Wasn't nobody coming in there with another reason why they weren't. If they were, they just weren't a part of it. So for the Packers to allow him to play, I don't get that. I'm confused. They're not allowing Kyrie Irving to play, are they?
No, they're not.
No. So how do you get by that? If you have certain things you're trying to keep everybody healthy and trying to keep everybody on the right path, how does somebody slide through that by not being able to take the test? I don't get it.
That's fair enough.
So whose fault is it for putting these people in danger? I guess, or it's whoever's guarding the gate. And if they let the dude get past the gate, then it's not his fault, is it?
Ahmad Rashad, you see why we got the same name, y'all. You see why, right?
Sway.
Well, we do. I enjoy your thought process. Like, let's look at the full picture. Before you go, I have a beautiful daughter, and you have beautiful daughters. And Condola is somebody who's been on the show before. Heather and I have checked her out on Broadway. We watch Billions. She plays Kate on Billions. She's doing an excellent job. She's a tremendous actress. And, I wanted to know, we were having this conversation about blended families earlier and also raising kids when you're single, and the mother's single, you're single, so on and so forth. And I was explaining early on in that process with my daughter, her mother, and me, her mother and I, even though we weren't together, we were together, but not together in a relationship like that. We used to have huddles. Hey, man, did you hear what's coming up? What do you think about it? Yeah, I think this about it. What do you think about it? All right, and then we'll call a play, and then we'll go break and leave the huddle and go raise our kid, right? But then as the kids get older, you don't really have the same rights. They can run off and do what they want to do after they reach a certain point. You just only hope they listen. Does your kid still come to you for advice? Are you giving a lot of advice these days, a lot of direction, or how's the dynamic changed now that everyone's starting to get older?
I trust my kids so much, and I feel like that, in the foundation, their foundation, I played such a huge role in that. So I trust them to make the right ideas. And yes, they will run things past me. They don't have to run everything past me, but they will run things past me. But I just feel so confident in the way they were raised. And Condola's mom is actually one of the most beautiful people in the world. And we've raised a wonderful daughter. And all my kids are like that. Mm-hmm. So it's to the point where, we let you go now. I done told you this is what I think and this and that and the other. You get to make your mind up. But at some point, it's all about you. I'm here if you want to ask me. But if not, I feel very confident that you are going to live a happy life because of some of the things that I've planted for you early on. And that's it. It's just fun to have a really good belly laugh with your kids. And as you're laughing, you realize that, man, I remember this little girl was 2 years old. Mm-hmm. Now it's a beautiful. It's like looking at a flower. And thinking about, man, I remember when she was a seed. Now she's a beautiful flower and just full of warmth and happiness and just makes me happy, and I think that's the most important thing in life is to be happy.
Absolutely, man.
Amen.
So man, okay, cool. It's like, you're on your own, kid. Make the right decisions. I'll be at home.
So wait, can I slide in with one final question?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Only because both myself and Heather are Scorpios, and HB had mentioned how your birthday is November 18th, which is 2 days after mine. And when you said that you only focus on today and forward, I wondered if you ever, when you were younger, thought that you would be working in your 70s or even want to continue working in your 70s. And what does retirement look like for you?
Heather, first of all, when I say 70s, it's like that just don't fit. It's like, me? I'm 39. Because there hasn't been, I haven't had any major changes in my, I look the same, I feel the same, I'm still silly. I don't know, when you get old, you don't have any of those, do you? You don't look the same, you don't feel the same, you ain't silly no more. But I still have all of that, so it doesn't bother me like that until somebody goes, hey, man, ain't you 70? It's like, nope, I'm 39. So in retirement, it is, I haven't retired. I think it is a wonderful blessing to be still wanted. When people came to me with the game show, I also now work with the Knicks, and I'm just, that's a blessing to be wanted. You still got something that people want to, keep you affiliated with. So those things are good. I don't know what it's going to be like when I get to the point where I go, I'm too tired to do that, or I'm going to retire. I guess I could say that I sort of do what I want to do now, which is really good. That's always good.
Right.
But I guess the bottom line, though, is I'm happy. I think that's the key. No matter what I was doing, if I was happy, hey, that's it. I'm having a great time in life. My kids are great. I got grandkids. I even got a great grandson. I won't let him call me that shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. Keep him in his place, Ahmad.
Yeah, man, she ain't called me no great granddaddy. If you want to hit the door, you can do that.
You can do
But
that.
Uh-oh.
Hey, man. Well,
Yeah.
look, congratulations to hear you say I'm happy. You know, that
Yes.
made me happy, man. Congratulations. At the core of it all, isn't that what matters? You're happy. That sounds amazing. That sounds
And
amazing.
I'll be happier if you watch Tug of Words, man. I want to know what you feel like. You tell me if that ain't fun. That's fun.
Come on, man. I was watching a clip when I can't think of the word they were building on, and it'll be a 3-letter word like ooh, Heather, and then you got to use those three words. Ahmad to give you a clue. It might be a pot that is known to originate in Japan, and you take those and you can make walk out of who. You know, you just keep building on the base of that word.
Got you.
Yeah, it's really. I play words with friends, so I probably do exceptionally well at this game. I don't know about Heather and Tracy, but
Wow.
Ahmad, if you like us to be on it, we'll be more than happy to be on it. Okay.
All right, I got it.
All right. Tug of Words, the Game Show Network. Let's support it. Ahmad Rashad, thank you. Always good to hear you. Okay, can't wait to see you in person.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right. It's
Thank
Ahmad
you.
Rashad, man. He's a citizen. Come on.
A sway in the morning.
All right.